Hello everyone, welcome to another video. In this video I would like to look at a game between two chess engines, Sugar versus Anzac from 2019. So I occasionally like to look at these games because there are some interesting moments in them and there are some things that the computer see which humans do not. And I try to take something from them. And it's just interesting for me to look at games, as simple as that. So Sugar is an engine which likes to attack, I think, and I've seen some of its games and some of it are interesting. So let's head on to the game. It was a Caracan advanced variation and white plays bishop e3, which is kind of not the most main line, but it's a very popular move also. And e6, knight d2, knight d7, bishop e2. So one issue, and black plays queen b6 here. One issue with these games is that you don't. I think the way even a 3000 engine can be very weak actually, and yeah, they don't always play the critical line or crucial line. So not always of theoretical importance, I think. So queen b6, white plays knight b3, knight e7, and now white plays f4, gaining more space. Bishop g6, all pretty natural moves. Knight f3, knight f5, bishop f2, a5, a4. So white has a huge space advantage in this game right now. So I believe black should have done something more critical earlier to challenge this, but yeah, this portion in itself should be at least slightly better for white. And black played bishop h5, castle, bishop e7. So one thing black needs to do eventually is to break in the center against the pawn structure to gain some kind of to fight for some space. The best way to do is to attack the center. So that's one of his aims in this move. So this is where the critical moment starts, and white plays a very interesting move. Knight b d2. So hanging this pawn, and the game starts here actually. And yeah, both sides have to respond in a certain way. So the first question is what happens if black takes on b2, rook b1, queen a3, rook b3. This is white's area, and if after queen a4, white plays queen b1, queen b2, and rook a1. So the black queen is more or less getting trapped. And if he just plays something like queen a2, rook into b7, and then queen a4, I just go rook b3 again, and I have a pretty good position. I don't think I go queen b1. I think. Still, it's not easy for black to castle because of knight is hanging on d7. So queen into b2 doesn't really make much sense now, but to me it looks like if you don't get queen into b2, then something is already wrong with the position. So black played c5. Of course, as I already mentioned, this is one of black's aims, and if he can do this successfully, yeah, then he's going to be going to do it. So white played a very interesting c3, still hanging the pawn on b2, and I think now the best chance for black is to take this, but probably it is losing. I'm not sure. Rook b1, queen c3 allows rook b3, and queen a3 allows bishop b5, c4. Hard to find a square for the queen, but hard to trap it also immediately because queen c2 allows bishop g6, and black is getting some play. And I'm not so worried about this yet because I'm hoping I'll be able to save myself. But my intuition and my gut says I don't have an analysis to say whether this is winning or losing, but my intuition says this should be bad for black. So, but it's not easy to prove it. So maybe this was black's best try. So c5, white played c3. Now of course black played also a natural move, but also kind of affects his position too much. He plays c into d4, and now white plays bishop b5, kind of an important intermezzo. And when black played a5, he gave up the b5 square, and with c5, c into d4. Now the bishop square is free for the bishop, and the king is in the center, and yeah, this is what white was aiming for. So bishop c5, aiming for knight e3 ideas and so on. I mean, bishop d7, king d7 doesn't really worry black because the king is pretty safe because of the close nature of the center, and yeah, the bishop is too strong at the moment to give it up for something as simple as that. So white continues knight b3, and black plays knight e3. This is the idea black is relying on, and bishop e3 is of course not white's idea. This has no value at the moment. I mean, this bishop is too important for us, and this rook is not really participating in the attack, and so white just plays queen d3. Just ignoring this, and bishop g6, queen e2, knight f1, and also still we are least concerned about this. He plays knight into d4. So continuing on with the attack, I find these moments fascinating when I see these games, and just interesting. They are beautiful to see. So bishop d4, queen c6. Again, it is white to play. We could take this knight probably, but of course there are more important things to be concerned about, and that is bishop c5. So actually the concepts in chess are pretty basic. There can be, you can learn a number of concepts, but it's all about imagination. I think. How much can you use the simple concept of a weak king? How much you can use the simple concept of development? We all know this, but creation depends on imagination, I think. And knight h2, bishop d6, knight f3 check. If black plays queen d6, white just takes. It doesn't concern him in any way. And the black king is still stuck in the center. So knight f3 check, queen f3, queen b6, king h2. So yeah, we are playing against the king. So after all this conflict in the position, and after all this sharp fight, we have ended in a position where the black king is in the center, and his rooks are unable to connect. And we have a strong bishop planted on d6, which is difficult to remove. And yeah, basically you can objectively say white is much better. And the knight is pinned and so on. So the material, we are down material, but black's material also depends on how you can use them. So black is not really using his material at the moment. So we can claim that white has an advantage. Rook g8. A human would never make this move actually, and it's completely absurd. So he would try to do something like rook c8 and rook c6, giving up the rook maybe, or some other way to lose, but rook g8 is just a typical computer move, but that's what it is. So rook g8, c4, opening up the position. Yeah, rook g8 looks like a crazy move to me actually. And he wants to respond to knight c5 with rook d8, I'm assuming. And only a computer would think like that. c4, bishop e4. These moves don't really change the assessment of the position, but queen g3, d into c4, white even has bishop d7, king d7, knight c5, king anywhere, knight e4. I mean, this would be a decent position if remove the queens, I think, but with the queens on the board, white's attack would be too great, and black doesn't stand a chance with the queens on the board here, I think. So yeah, white has many threats now, queen h4, but at the moment it's queen h8, so let's see what it is. Queen g5, trying to open up the position, but white will not allow this. Rook f1. Again, a typical computer response, I think, not concerned about anything here, and I cannot take this because of queen g8 is mate, actually, and kind of opening up the position. So rook c8, preventing knight c5 ideas and all that. So black is threatening to take on c4 at this point, but c5, queen a7. The bishop isn't coming back. f5, and yeah, so f5, rook c6. Now it's just game over actually. More or less anything wins for white. It's we have crossed the point of defense, of finding a defense for black. So more or less anything wins here. So he plays rook c6 and fe6, fe6, knight d4, bishop f5, knight f5. I think knight d4 black actually resigned in the game. But if you try to defend the pawn with bishop f5, then knight f5, ef5, e6. Yeah, anything again wins. Knight f6, rook f5, knight e. So even the we can think of chess in a very complicated way or a very simple way, and fundamentally there are just a few reasons why a position is bad. It's just that each piece is doing something else. They are not cooperating with each other, and yeah, even even the most complex game can be understood in such a simple. And knight e4, queen e5 with the idea of queen g7 maybe, and it's game over. So some moments of these games are interesting and worth having a look, I think. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the game. Thank you for watching.